Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Kat's Gardening, Kitchen, and More. Today we are working on making some pasta sauce. And I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to do that. We're starting with washing our tomatoes. Now, normally I wait until the tomatoes are ready in the summer, and I would make my pasta sauce with that, and that's what I did last year, but we ran out, and so I went and bought some tomatoes to make some pasta sauce. It's not my normal, but it's okay. You know, we're going with the flow. My family really likes it, and it's versatile. You can put it on any pasta. You can put it on rice. You can throw it into soups. I mean, there's lots of things you can do with it. Put it on pizza, whatever. Anyway, so come along as I teach you how I make this. I got this recipe from that 1870s homestead, and go check them out. They're a good channel, and I've really liked them. And so let's get started. I am starting with washing off the tomatoes. These are the tomatoes. I have them in rinsing. And once I have them all rinsed and washed and over at the table, I'll be back to show you how I prep them and get them ready for the pasta sauce. Hi guys, so I've just been chopping up my vegetables and peeling up my tomatoes. What I did was I took the tomatoes after I took the core out, and I put some slits in it and put it into some hot boiling water for about a minute or two until you see it start to split. Then I threw it into a sink of cold water, or you can do ice water, and I'm taking the skins off. The skins are really good to dehydrate and make into tomato powder. And tomato powder can be used in all kinds of things. Flavoring dishes, meat rubs, thickeners for soups, just all kinds of things. So when I get all of this peeled and done, I'll put it in the pot and start making the sauce. Hi guys, so I'm just sauteing up some of my vegetables here to be put in with the tomatoes when they're ready. The tomatoes are over here cooking, and I've been mashing them down with a potato masher. And as you can see, there's a lot of liquid in there, and I'm going to cook that liquid down as much as I can and then drain off the rest. And then when they're cooked down and all drained off, then I will add in the vegetables to it. Alright, so I am just now draining off my tomatoes, all of the liquid. And then once I have that done, I will stick it in my blender and blend it down until it is all pureed. And then you have your choice. You can add either tomato paste or tomato puree to it, depending on how thick you like your pasta sauce. And then we'll add in the vegetables, and we'll go from there. So I got my tomatoes strained out. They are over here in the blender, ready to be blended. And don't get rid of that juice. It's still good. You can can that up, and it's good in soups and in drinks and all kinds of things. So that's still good juice. So what I'm going to do now, my lid is in the sink dirty, and I didn't feel like washing it. Canning's a lot of work, and I was like, one more step, one more thing I have to do. So I've got tinfoil and this lid on it, and it will work. So here we go. So we're going to keep pureeing that up until it gets well blended, and then we'll put it back into the pot and add in the tomato puree. I am adding some of the vegetables in to puree with it. I do like a chunky sauce, but I don't like it as chunky as it would be if I left all of it in. And I'll go ahead and I will puree that down. Okay, so what I did with the rest of the vegetables that I didn't add into here is I just pulsed them a little bit so they weren't quite as thick and chunky. And then I will add that in to this pot. Okay, so I have all of my spices measured out here, and I will put the recipe in the link below. I'm going to dump that in. And then I already put about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in. And then you put some soy sauce and a splash of lemon juice in. And you're going to mix that around. Now, you can put coconut aminos in place of the soy sauce. I hear that's a little bit better for you. I've never done that. I don't even know a whole lot about it. But I just put a little bit of coconut oil in place and the soy sauce. And then I watched that 1870s Homestead. And what she suggested, because this is her recipe, or similar to her recipe, is to put 2 large carrots in to help take the acidity of the tomatoes away. I don't have 2 large carrots, so I'm just going to put 4 small ones in. And then we will let that simmer for about another 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'll be back to show you how I get it all set up in the canner. Also, don't forget to put 2 to 3 bay leaves. I almost forgot to tell you that. Depending on the batch you have and the size of your leaves. So I'm filling up my jars, leaving a 1/2 inch headspace. And make sure if you run across your bay leaves or your carrots that you're pulling those out. There's my carrot. Oh, just dropped it back down in there. Well, that did a whole lot of good. I found 2 out of the 3 bay leaves, so I'm hoping I didn't get it in the pasta sauce, but I'm sure even if we did, we'll find it.
You pick it out of the shop.
Okay. So what I'm doing after I get it to that point where it's a 1/2 inch headspace, and there are tools out there that you can measure, but I can't enough that I pretty much know where to kind of look, is I dip into some vinegar. You can do water, but I like vinegar because it gets all the sticky of anything. And I wipe around the rim and the side just to make sure it's clean, because if it's not clean, you won't get a good seal. And then I'm going to take my lid back here. I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Now this year, I've had a hard time finding lids. And I did find these at Smith & Edwards here in Utah from the Pure company that does the water filters. The reviews online said that they were good. If you've heard of that or ever used them, comment below. Let me know what you think. I'm giving it a try and seeing what I think of it. So we're going to go ahead. I've got a full canner here. And I'm going to go ahead, as soon as this comes to a boil, I'm going to set the timer for 40 minutes. That's how long it takes for them to process. Then when they get done, I will let them sit for about 5 minutes, and then I will pull them out. Then I will start the next batch in. So I'll bring you back when they're all done. So if my husband will show you, got these jars done. There's a few more going into the canner. Here is the tomato juice. They will sit here between 12 to 24 hours to make sure that the seal's proper, and then I will take the rings off and put them in my pantry. A few things I wanted to go over with you, and that is the recipe, which I will link in the description below, calls for 25 pounds of tomatoes. I don't usually have 25 pounds of tomatoes at one time, and so I cut the recipe in half. Also, some tips for you if you remember from me talking throughout this video. First, save your tomato skins. Dehydrate them, whether it be in your dehydrator or in your oven, and then turn it into tomato powder. And when mine are all dehydrated, I'll go over the steps on how to do that. 2, pour out what liquid you can and save it like I've done here for soups and anything else you're trying to flavor. And then 3, add tomato puree or tomato paste so that you don't have to have your pasta sauce cooking and reducing for as long. It helps to thicken it faster. And 4, this is something that I learned from that 1870s Homestead channel, and you can go check him out. She said an old Italian grandma trick is to put 2 large or 4 small carrots into the sauce to soak up some of the acidity, the acid. I'm not very good at saying that word. Sometimes, I don't know how you guys are, but sometimes people will have a sensitive belly to tomatoes and they'll say it's too acidy for me. This helps to soak up some of that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this and you give it a try. Look for the recipe, like I said, down in the description below. Don't forget to hit the like button and the bell notification to be notified of any upcoming videos, like the one that I plan on doing on the tomato puree. Or not tomato puree, the
Tomato powder.
The tomato powder. And I hope you give this a try. My family really likes it. Oh, ping! That's one of my jars that's starting to seal. That's a canner's best friend, is to hear that ping. So, have a great day. Bye, my friends.